So, Terry, we've got Dad in here today. Mr. Shockley, thanks. Thanks for coming in. And I think a good place to start is just with the fact that Terry has shared with me that, you know, she's definitely in the forgiveness process here, and there's still maybe one main thing that she feels like is an obstacle between you, Mr. Shockley, and she. And that there are some missing pieces to your story, things that she still has questions about. And that your story is connected to hers. And so it's something that she, correct me if I'm wrong, Terry, feels like you may be owed, if possible.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, and we want to make that as safe as possible if you're willing to offer some of those pieces.
I'm really feeling some kind of way
Okay.
right now, you know, especially the part of me owing something where I'm not comfortable with owing anyone anything.
Well, give him another word, Emily. Please,
Okay,
please find another word other than
there it
oh.
goes. There it goes. See, there it goes. That fast. I thought I'm forgiven. So allow me free expression of what I feel when different words are spoken.
So,
And
Dad, what word would you choose? What word would be nice for you?
I'm not choosing Jack at this time. I'm just telling you how I'm feeling about the words that has been spoken. And if I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling it. That's just the bottom line of that.
So do I hear you, Mr. Shockley, saying, no, that's not something I can give you, Terry? I cannot give you those pieces? Is that a no from you?
Well, maybe let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't owe me anything.
Okay.
He doesn't owe me anything.
Go ahead, tell him. You can tell
I
Mr. Shockley.
would appreciate the opportunity to hear some of the backdrop of your story.
Oh, okay. What would you like to know?
Actually, I would like to know the root of your pain, the root of what happened when we were little that opened the door of you not being present in our lives like we needed you.
I sound like one of those psychoanalyst type. Are you trying to psychoanalyze me?
What part
Or
sounded
what?
like that, Mr.
The
Shockley?
part that you want me to tell a story as if that you're trying to dissect my life. And that is not something that I want to see happen if we're able to get past what we need to get past here.
You know, the sad part that you think is dissecting rather than unifying. You think that I'm trying to dissect your life. I'm trying to reunify ours.
Did you notice, Terry and Mr. Shockley, when you said dissect, you did this motion, Mr. Shockley? What was in your hand when you're talking about dissecting? What's in your hand? If you're dissecting something, what
Well,
are
it's
you
a
using?
knife.
A knife.
Yeah, I mean, but
Does that feel sharp?
well, it is sharp, and perhaps it's the manner in which it's being presented. I'm not sure. I know, for me, we haven't had conversations. We have had confrontations, and it still sounds to me as if you're confrontational and wanting to know my history or certain things about me.
I apologize if that's always the way you see me.
I am not looking for an apology. I'm not.
I mean, how? What does peace look like? The Bible tells us to resolve conflicts quickly. And only thing I want to do is to get to understand what caused you, Dad, not to stay home and take care of your children and your wife, and you did it several times. What was the root of your pain or your decision making? What was your mental process? Because I'm trying to understand you a little bit.
Because
that's all I'm trying to
keep
do.
on acting as if that I willfully and deliberately abandoned the family. That's what I pick up from you. You don't see me in the light that I was trying, and I had said this in my session with Doc, that I was out there trying to make it happen for the family, not to abandon the family. And you still look as if that I was abandoning the family. I made some poor choices. I told you about the poor choices that I made. And those choices that I made landed me in prison. And continued to make those choices because in my mind I didn't have no other options. I know that I'm wrong now, that I did other options, but I needed to have immediate results. And that was the only way I thought that I could get immediate results in taking care of the family. It wasn't out there that I was neglecting the family. It was just that what I was doing put me in harm's way. And I probably was selfish.
Probably
Because I wasn't looking at it in that light. Today I can see probably because it's still an ongoing process. It's a continual process.
But then what you don't hear is that you are so full of denial. We talk about accountability, when you say probably, Daddy, you're over 70 years old and you still don't know the difference between probably and reality. You know it was a bad choice. There's no probably about that. You know.
I think about probable cause.
Yeah, you have probable cause too, right? Right.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Right. Come on.
Because
What was the probable cause?
that was there. That was there.
Yeah,
that was there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so
We'll take some laughter. This is good. We got to laugh, Terry.
because she's so hard with her provocations.
Oh yeah.
And so
So how do you react?
well, when I see that my explanation get to her goat to keep me from exploding, I use laughter.
Yeah.
How about just getting to the point that you can just really just tell the truth?
Well, because that's not my comfort zone with you yet.
Yet. I like the word yet.
But the fact is that people are dying every day with unresolved issues. Let me finish. What I'm asking of you should not be a hard thing because I love you dearly. And the things that I'm asking from you is to help me get clarity upon my life, and so that I will be better off even explaining to your grandchildren that the same thing has happened to their father. So just to understand from my father, from a mindset of a man, with having the whole family structure on your shoulders, what that entailed, so I can even get a better understanding. I want to be able to help articulate some of these things to my children, because the fact is, the only thing they see in our family, Dad, is a bunch of absent men.
But you're coming real hard at me.
How is it hard, Dad?
Because you're trying to get me to go in the direction that we haven't established a certain intimacy to be able to talk along that line.
So what do you think we're trying to do, Dad? Well, I mean, what do I need to do?
That's a good question.
I'm not attacking you. I just want to understand why recidivism was your portion.
Okay. You know, one of the things that I think about is that you never asked me about my mom and dad, how I grew up. You know, just my likes, my dislikes. You have never asked, what's my favorite color?
That's why. This is why we're here. I asked you
I
what
didn't
the
ask,
back.
I said, what is my favorite color?
Green.
No.
What is it?
I don't have a favorite color. I'm multicolored in my selections.
You know, he's so deep. He's so doggone deep.
Exactly.
And he make things worse. And he talking about me? So the apple don't fall far
It's
from
true.
the tree.
I was just gonna
the tree.
say, I can see where she gets it from, Dr. Shockley.
So then
No. But
I'm a complicated man.
you know what? We don't have to be.
No, I do have to be,
No, you
because if I know that you have my best interest at heart, you have to crack this shell. I'm not going to willingly just open up to you before I know that I can trust you.
Here's what I hear, Terry. He's telling you exactly what he needs.
No, he's telling me what he
Oh.
needs, but he's not telling me how he expects me to give it to him. When every time I ask a question, he
Yeah.
rebuttal.
Yeah.
What?
You rebuttal. So if I told you that I wanted to know the backdrop of your life, that means your history.
Are we in
wanted to-
an adversarial relationship, an encounter?
I'm not.
So how do you know that you're not?
Because I determine whether or not I want to be adversarial or not, and I determine how I harness my emotions and my feelings. I'm not in an adversarial mode, really. I'm in a mode right now that I want to have a relationship with you. I want clarity as to what was the cause of your pain, what was your history, what grandma and grandpa was, to you.
So why I'm feeling like you still want to have control of this scenario. Every time you talk, I'm feeling that you want control of me.
And Mr. Shockley, that might be a reaction to your own trauma. Because Terrie, if you look at her body language, she's not raising her voice, right? She's not even really facing you. But because of the nature of what she's asking for and the vulnerability that it's going to require from you, it makes sense that you might be having a defensive reaction.
Do you think so? Oh, I'll ask again, because it probably will pass you. Do you think so?
It's not what I think.
Just ask the question.
I don't have no thought on that, Dad.
Are you in agreement with her?
There's some validity to it.
So I feel your pain right now. I can see your pain. In one way, I want to say get over it. And that might sound cold. But in another way, I want to love you, but I'm I'm not sure if I'm equipped to give you the type of love that you need right now. Because you're requiring of me some information that I'm not yet ready to devour.
Okay. We can work with this. We can work with this. There was some softness there. Did you sense that, Terrie?
Yeah, there's an undertone.
A little bit, right? This is gonna be a process, right?
Yeah, you're asking me in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, so to speak, to just cough up what happened to me, what shaped my life, and all that, when we have been absent from one another for years, and then I come out that the relationship that I thought that we were getting involved with, that it was undertone for what's happening with us now. So in one sense, you felt betrayed, and now I'm kind of feeling somewhat betrayed by you. And so I got to work through that to see how to now navigate with this new vulnerability that I now have to undergo with you. And that's not pleasant. That is really not pleasant. And I'm not trying to make any excuses about it. It's just a fact that that's something that I have to consider and now deal with. And I wasn't ready to deal with this. So you're asking really, from my point of view, quite a lot. And I don't know what the payoff will be with that.
In all respect, that all that you have said just reflected how damaged you are.
Damaged?
Where you have made this whole big picture that you have to stay guarded from your daughter, and that you are afraid to reveal and expose some of yourself to me, as if I'm your enemy and I'm your flesh.
You are my daughter, but you're not my friend yet.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Maybe that's what we need to work on then, first. Establishing some friendship and trust.
Yeah, because you think that you have certain rights and privileges just because you're my daughter. That's not how I see it. You are my daughter, but I'm looking for a friend in my daughter.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where we should start. We can work there. What do you think, Terrie?
Oh boy. If eyes could kill.
If it evolves to that, I'll be grateful. If it don't, I'll still live.
And so then, if we're going to move in this direction, what will that look like for us? Because I'm willing.
Starting from scratch.
Yes.
In some ways.
And I don't have a problem with that because we've been absent from one another. I knew her as a little baby. And now I'm dealing with a grown woman.
Yeah.
I still see her as a baby.
Yeah. You still need to get to know each other.
Yeah. So you're asking some very deep, sensitive questions from me. And I get it that you think that you have the right to know those things because you're my daughter. But that's not easy given just because you're my daughter.
Okay. All right, I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So, are you feeling some kind of way now?
I just think we talked through this enough.
We can pick it up next time.
Okay.
That's okay.